Okay, I'm going live, but I'm watching the end of the episode still. I don't know why I'm whispering. This song is so great. Ah! Anyways, I got really excited. Our show just ended. Oh wait, this means we're gonna get the trailer for the next week's episode. Sorry.
My husband's in surgery. I'm so sorry. We have 5 firefighters trapped in the basement with a suspicious device, and now we have no communication. What's the plan?
I'm listening to the trailer for next week's episode, guys, just so you guys know what I'm doing at the moment. Oh, that gave me goosebumps. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Okay. Hi, everyone, again, for the third time. I had to double check. Okay, so I'm going to go live with Barrett now, and she can talk all about the episode, and we can answer any questions. I know it's a little bit later, but the West Coast feed just finished, which is kind of nice, because it's the one I get to actually sit down and really get to watch. No, tonight it's not the finale. One more episode, guys. I'm going to find Barrett on here. Oh, you know what? Instead of making the mistake like I did in the last video, I'm going to do this. Where I just request Barrett. It's the fourth time. It's my fourth live, but only my third time on the Station 19 one. It's a lot of lives. Do you guys like a lot of lives? I guess is a good question to ask. Or is 4 lives a lot? Everybody always asks, why did I cut my hair? I'll save that conversation for another time. Until 2 a.m.? Really? So I have Hulu Live, which lets me watch it like that day. I really like Hulu Live. I feel like I should be a sponsor for Hulu Live. Okay, let's see if I can find Barrett. Let's see if this works. I struggled a little bit with the last one with Stefania, trying to find Stefania, and I requested, but we'll see if I keep an eye on things. It helps. Hi, Kenley. Is it Kenley? Hi, Kenley. How are you? I hope you're having a great night. I love you guys too. This has been a lot of fun, I have to admit. Like, doing the Station 19 Instagram to this extent. I'm from the first time I ever did the Station 19 Instagram, season 1, when I had no idea what I was doing, to now and having all this content to post and share with you guys. It's been a lot of fun, and like getting to engage with you guys on the lives and on comments, and everything has been a blast. So I really appreciate all your love and support of our show. I mean that wholeheartedly. It really means a lot to me and the rest of the cast that we have so much love from our fans. Hi, Grazie. 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 How do you say your name? Hi, Grazie. I hope I'm not saying a bad word, and I hope it is your name. I think it's your name. Let's see. Barrett, are you on here? Barrett. I'm texting her too. I'll see if... Why does this always do this? Let's see. Hello, hello. Oh, you like my hair? Good. I mean, I'm happy with the choice too. I mean, there's some days that I kind of like miss being able to have long hair, but I'm really happy with the decision to chop it all off. I never know what to do with my long hair. When I had that long hair, it would always end up in a bun, and I am not one to spend a lot of time on hair and makeup. If you couldn't tell, I never really have hair and makeup on unless it's for like a red carpet thing. Okay, Barrett says she's on here, but oh, wait. Yes, I think I just did it. Here we go. Waiting for Barrett to us. I always have to make sure not to scream too loud, because on people's Instagram lives, like, their ears are broken.
Their ears explode.
Hi, beautiful.
Hi, friendo.
I miss you so much.
It's good to see you too.
I know I saw. You were amazing tonight on, I don't know if you saw on Twitter.
You too.
Your acting tonight, of course, was brilliant. I almost cussed. But you, like, your singing was,
Oh, so
gorgeous.
as you know, I
Yeah.
was like super hoarse for like half
After
of
that.
the episode because we shot the sort of screaming, crying, smoky stuff the day before we shot the singing stuff in the theater. So I was like I'd left at maybe 5 or 6 p.m. having like screamed Cooper, Cooper, and like cried and yet like in the smoke like that we,
Yeah.
you know, the stage smoke that we use, and then like came back the next day in the morning and was like, oh, I have to sing now for Kevin. So it was,
I guess I didn't realize that. I knew you were really hoarse and like had lost your voice, and I could actually hear it in the scene in the
I
kitchen.
know, in the scene with Jay, I was like, I know how I can disguise it. I'll just talk really quiet. Maybe people won't notice.
I mean,
It's
I
weird.
thought it was a nice raspy voice. It was gave you like character. I liked it. But I didn't realize it was also done before you actually had to do the singing scenes. I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
Oh,
the one when I'm wearing the green sparkly
which I love.
dress rehearsal, yeah, and the wig and stuff. That I was like really hoarse, and that was after I busted my ankle too.
Tell that story too. You have to tell the story. That was bad.
That
I mean,
morning,
I wasn't there, but your ankle was bad.
yeah, that morning. So I was already like hoarse and stressed out, and then that morning, our very first rehearsal of the day, we were rehearsing me coming down the stairs and then running off the stage. And it was like really, no one knew this, of course. It was the very first rehearsal of the day. So we were like in this, we rehearsed the scene through. We start running, and like, I I didn't wipe out. Like I didn't actually fall. I caught myself, but I actually think if I,
of course you did. First of all, wait, pause. Of course you caught yourself. I don't think I've ever seen you fall. I mean, you know what I mean?
But there was like these, like,
when alcohol's not involved, I've never
Yeah.
seen you not fall. I've never seen you fall.
but it was like I was wearing character shoes for the first time in forever, and which are like heeled theater shoes, and
Okay. Why?
and that's what like you would wear in a community theater or like a college theater. If you're doing a show, like a costume piece, like a period piece, you would probably be wearing character shoes. But of course, this is like a community college show, so it's like really basic character shoes. But anyway, it was also like slippery, and I should have fallen. I think if I would have actually fallen, I probably wouldn't have hurt myself. But I caught myself, and like my ankle was really, I mean, still sort of screwed.
Is it?
It's fine. It's just mangled.
I remember, just so everyone knows, I saw it. I have the proof. It was so swollen and so bruised.
It was a really bad sprain. I did end up going to get checked out, but
how's your knee? Because before your foot, it was your knee.
I know. I'm not actually a clumsy person.
You're not.
That's what's weird is like I like twice this year in like the span of like 4 months, like injured one leg and then the other leg, and now I should actually my boyfriend's been encouraging me to wear my boot all the time.
Oh, did I see your boot? I don't know if I saw your boot.
My little like hobbly boot.
Maybe I did see it. I think I saw you wear it to set a couple times after.
Yeah, but you know, I hate to show any weakness.
I know.
Like, you know, like I'm not like, oh, I need help. Anyway, how do you feel? Big episode, Maya. Big episode.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
I'm sure you've already gone over it. Did you get to talk to Stefania earlier?
Yeah, we did not to talk about the episode, but just a quick little like hi to the fans. We're gonna go live after next week's episode.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So we kind of were just giving a little like, hey, what's up? We're going live next week. Tune in and give us your questions.
Still friends.
Are you? What'd you say?
Still friends.
Oh no!
You wanted to make sure everyone knew.
You froze, Barrett.
Oh no.
Wait, you're pixelated. I see you doing this, but you're just
Oh,
pixelated.
okay. I'll stop moving then.
Oh, I don't mind. You can move all you want. I'm glad I can hear you at least. What did you say before that?
I was saying you wanted to make sure everyone knew that you and Stefania were still friends.
I mean, I was just like, we like each other. See, we still love each other off camera.
Well,
No, I
you
mean,
both love each other on camera still.
yeah.
I don't buy it.
Yeah, oh, thanks. Your team.
I'm team Marina.
Marina.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you come on, let's be honest. Like, to just talk like blunt, because I can talk honest and blunt with you, even though there's a ton of people watching. It's like, no, of course it's hard. It's really hard to watch a scene like that and to know, and like scenes like that, and to see your character going through stuff like that. And it's hard. And it's hard to hear people's reactions because they are passionate about the show. And you're like, no, don't take this personally. Don't take this personally.
I know it's difficult. Like when you know that you're just trying to represent a character that's like flawed and makes awful, destructive, abusive mistakes, and like, it doesn't make you a bad person. It like means you made a bad choice, you know, and like,
Yeah.
it's like really. It's hard to watch. It's hard to watch how people respond, you know? Like,
It really is. I mean, you've dealt with that, right?
yeah. I mean, it feels like sometimes I still am. Like, the ghost of Ripley still haunts me. And I get it though. Like, it was a really important like development for the show and a development for my character that I really appreciated. And then, you know, one chapter ended, and it's hard because, you know, we are responsible for treating the scripts that we get with respect, and also with like doing our best to be like, okay, so this, even if it's not how I imagine what I would do or what I would want my character to do, because it's like the righteous, awesome thing to do, that like, wow, this character might be flawed in a way that I'm not, hopefully. Or like, that like, you know, that like might have like a weak spot where that I don't quite understand, and trying to like come to terms with that. Or like, you know, how do you move on? Can you be happy with anyone else? Like, what, you know, that's like, those are the questions that I had to ask myself when it was like, okay, so this is how Vic is progressing. I mean, and now we're at the end of season 3, and I'm still like, sort of, I feel like I still have to think about that sometimes.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I'm okay with the fact that she's moved on. And like, but of course it's always hard because we genuinely love the enthusiasm of the fans. And it's also like, it's just gut wrenching when your character does something that you know is going to be like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, no, it is. And it's like, it's twofold, I guess. It's like, we love the passion that everyone has, and it's so strong, but it also results in situations like that where, whether it's it's that you want to hold on to those characters that have sadly departed the show, or you're upset about something someone
like
does.
a relationship you love.
Yeah,
or
it's
both.
hard. Because you could become invested. I mean, I do it with shows, but so I understand it. I totally understand it. So
and we do it as actors. It's like, that's like, also, you know, we commit to like the relationship between characters, and then you're like, wait, no.
And have biases like about just any, like an actor will do something and I'm like, oh, I love them, they're amazing, just because I loved like a character they played. I'm like, I don't know this person.
Yeah.
I mean, I do it all the time. I totally do it all the time. So it makes sense.
So what do we do now? Should we talk?
Hi. Yes. I love talking about the acting stuff though. It's fun too.
Me too. I mean, I don't know if people find that interesting, but I know we do, because this is how we talk to each other when we're sitting face to face.
Well, I'll scroll through here. Can you scroll through on your side? See anything that you like or any questions?
I don't know how. I don't know what to
scroll.
Do. I'm squinting. Can you tell?
Oh my God! Do you not have your glasses? Okay, so just so everyone knows, Barrett should wear her glasses more, and she doesn't. But
I
you got
should.
new glasses. Show off your
I
new
know.
glasses.
I could go put them on, I guess.
Oh, someone just wrote she did cry for Ripley. She was crying while he was dying. I mean, that was epic.
Yes.
Season 2
I
in the
honestly,
hospital room.
I have to say, I have, and I will say this, and I know that it might be a little inflammatory, but it's been difficult because I see what people tag me in, you know, like that happens. But you know,
Oh, you see
like,
everything.
I know.
Oh.
And then like, but when people are like, well, she didn't cry this much when Ripley died, I was like, I remember that. Like, I was there. I definitely did. Like, it was, because that's hard for us, you know. Like those are days of preparation. That's the whole day. You're
That
sort
whole
of,
day, you're a mess.
I mean, you know,
Mess.
you were there for
Yes.
some of that too when I was in it, and I was there for moments when you've been in it. Like it's really like it takes a lot of energy. It's really hard to replicate some of that stuff. So when people are like, "Well, that didn't happen before," I was like, "Oh no, it happened." And I know it wasn't this season necessarily, and it happened quicker than, of course, many people would have wanted, but like it happened, and so it's hard to be.
I think, and it's just like you're seeing a lot of people here too. It's just like it killed people. It destroyed people when he died. When your relationship, when Vickley was gone, because people just loved you guys together so much.
I know, me too. It was
I
great.
mean, we loved Brett. Like, I know. We were upset that we lost Brett.
I know, just like when you, like for us, it's a different experience. It's both like it's the person, it's the actor. Like you like if you get to work with them a lot, it's not just the person you hang out with in the green room. It's like the person you get to work with, and then it's also the character, like and their relationship to your character, and then it's like when you actually watch it months later, it's a totally different experience. So like it's so funny to it's cool though
to go through the process of it too.
Yeah,
from our perspective.
I'm gonna find a question. I'm gonna get my glasses.
Oh my god, please do.
Okay.
Okay, get your glasses.
This is weird.
Okay, I'm going through questions right now, just so you guys know that I'm not just ignoring you. I'm just gonna go through questions. I wish there was a way to like categorize a couple. I need to email Instagram and be like, can I pick a couple questions to go through instead of just posting one and immediately going to the next? Hold up. Okay, are you there?
I'm here.
Because I have this. So I'm going to be looking at them. You answer these questions. No, not about Maya, about Vic.
But I'll answer
no, that's not what I meant to click. What do you admire about Maya? No, I wanted you to say this one.
Well, but you can answer this one.
Oh my God, people have seen enough and heard my face enough, heard my voice enough, seen my face enough. I want to hear from your perspective. I'm sick of my own voice at this point.
What do I admire most in Vic? I think it has to be her sort of boundless positivity. I think that's like weirdly, it's something that I've struggled with that character sometimes. I mean, I'm a pretty positive person, but when I think about Vic, I like, you know, as an actor, I think I've said this before. I know we've talked about it, Danielle, but like,
yeah,
I like to pull the information about my character from the writing, like from what the writers like gift us. And so what I've
almost to the point where it drives you crazy sometimes.
Well, it's like, okay, yeah. And then you go with, you know, it's no, I really like it because that's what makes it not me. You know what I mean? Like, so.
But I mean, like when you don't have answers, right?
Oh,
like,
sure.
To go
you have
like
to get
when
really
you
creative sometimes.
Yeah, for you, you're just like, okay.
Yeah, but I love her boundless positivity. I like that she bounces back when she experiences like undeniable tragedy. Like she is somehow able to say, you know what? I mean, I've said this before, but I think her catchphrase is sort of the show must go on, you know, like this is life. Like I don't want to mourn for the rest of my life. I don't want to cry for the rest of my life. Like I'm a happy person. And if the person I've lost, my grandmother, Ripley, my theater teacher, like my director, like my beloved director, like these are people who Cooper, who like loved me and cared for me and would have wanted me and expected me to be happy and to like go forward in my life and like recover, because that's the sort of person she is. So like that's what I
That's
like most about her.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that. And that reminds me too, like, I absolutely loved the scenes with you and Jay. Like, you guys always have great chemistry and camaraderie and are hilarious together.
I
But
talked to Jay. I talked to him right before the episode aired. Yeah, we talked at the
like,
phone.
you, like, Maine really captured, like, I feel like you guys also improv and they kept the improvs in there, like Jay
Yes.
doing his hair flip. And
Totally.
like, I'm sure that was improv all at the end when he's yelling at you as you left and says, like, can I have the darts or whatever? Like, I'm assuming that was improv. I'm not remembering.
Some of that was scripted.
Okay.
We did have some stuff. There was like little stupid stuff at the end of that scene with Boris. We sort of, that was me.
Oh, the one,
folders.
the one at the business place, at the business that you were
Honestly, me and Jay, you know, we play it fast and loose.
Yes, you do. And it's hilarious. The stuff that they, but it's sadly, as we know, is that, well, I don't, because I never improv, as we all know.
No.
I'm like, it's not in the script. You can't say it. But you, everyone knows I'm like, where are my glasses? But like, you and Jay are hilarious, but a lot of times the stuff gets cut. It doesn't stay in the show. And so it's been great that this episode, like, you improv'd a little bit and it stayed in there, but just the flow you guys had in the scenes you guys had this episode were just great. They were amazing.
Thanks.
No, they were. Yeah. Yeah. What was your favorite scene to shoot in this episode?
Ooh, God, that's a hard question. There were
always,
several of them. I mean, I love working with Jay. Like he cracks me up. So we always have a good time. I have to say the end of the kitchen scene was like a highlight for me, because like
the raspy voice scene, the
yeah.
hair flip scene.
I mean, yeah, the hair flip there. That scene got longer and longer. We just kept going. But that was really fun. And I loved working with Peter Page. He was so great as Cooper. We had a really great vibe. He's got like a really deep knowledge of theater too. And so we had like a really fun time just sort of playing around with like the relationship between this actress and her director, because we were like, what if Vic is just like his muse? You know,
Which kind of, we just funny to say that, because it kind of feels
like community theater director with like passion and like, you know, verve, and he's just got so much energy and he just loves this one actress and is just gonna make her everything. So we had a lot of fun playing around with that.
Well, I liked the dynamic that you had in that little scene, that little piece of the scene where, you know, you stop it and say, let's start from the top. And then he's like, I'm the director. Yeah. Like, that felt very, very, I mean, everything you do feels natural, but something about that it's rang true. It was really like, oh.
Well, I also, that was something that I really liked that scene too, because like, who hasn't done the first prop, like the first thing I asked for after we rehearsed that scene was, can I have a binder? Like I like wanted to be like looking at the music, because I've been in a lot of music rehearsals like that, where you're just sitting there singing the song and trying to figure something out, and you don't sound great, and you're just like, whatever, I'm just gonna punch through this. But it was fun.
I didn't want to jump ahead because I'm always looking at the questions while I'm talking to you. Did you answer your favorite? Like, did you answer your favorite as like?
Oh, I said the one with Jay and the one with Peter.
Okay.
Honestly, I loved the theater stuff. That was really fun, actually, in spite of the hoarse voice and the injury.
I really wish I could have been there to see that. I really wanted to. This one says, this was interesting. Also, side note, because I had a conversation earlier on one of these lives that I've done today, and someone didn't know you came, with Miles, the one on my page, and he didn't know you came from Broadway. And so do you want to just give a little backstory? I mean, I think this goes into this question of what got you both into acting, but like, if you want to give a little backstory of your Broadway background, since I think I always assume people know, and I think some people don't.
No, that's okay. I like come from a theater background. I moved to California only like when I got this job. I lived in New York before this, and I moved to New York when I was 16 to start like auditioning more professionally from Chicago, which was also, it just worked out better. Weirdly. But yeah, and I went to NYU and I did musical theater for like a really long time, and I sort of started there. I have a background. I've done two Broadway shows. One was a play called You Can't Take It With You, and I was an understudy. I did get to go on a lot, like I got to perform a lot, but that I was just an understudy in that show. And then I did Groundhog Day on Broadway, which was my first musical on Broadway. It was my first lead. And that was unbelievable. And that kind of ushered me right into Station 19.
Which is crazy when you think about it. Isn't it amazing when you look back at your trajectory, your journey, and how it feels like all the pieces just fell into place? But if you really think back, you probably had like so much stress, anxiety about like not booking this or not booking that, or like freaking out about this. And when you look back, you're like, oh no, it all makes sense. Like, of course that would happen in the.
No, it still kind of boggles the mind, honestly. Like I like think back. It's so clear. I like remember very clearly what it felt like to be doing Groundhog Day, and now it's just, it's so weird sometimes. Like we have these moments. Sometimes we sit there on set and we're like, I'm on a TV show. I'm on a TV show.
I'm on a TV show.
Oh, okay, I'm on a TV show now. And that feels really, you know, it's an amazing opportunity, and it's like so much fun to do. It's so gratifying. So
it is. It's funny. We do have those moments. I feel like I still run into that even when I'm like doing stuff like this with social media. I'm like, oh, we have people that watch our show.
Yeah.
Like, you forget. It's just weird.
I love it.
It's kind of, it takes you, because we love our acting so much and are so passionate about what we do, but sometimes you forget what it is you're doing on the bigger scale. So it's fascinating. But yeah, so just people have been saying, as you were talking, that so many people had said you were amazing in Groundhog Day. So I'm assuming there's people that saw it, which was pretty amazing.
That's so cool.
And then very impressed with your NYU alumni status. Very impressed. So that was some stuff that came through when you were talking. And Barrett, what's your favorite current Broadway show? Someone just asked.
Oh God. You know, it's actually, I'm really sad. I haven't seen a lot of the shows that were on Broadway before everything closed down, but I have to say Moulin Rouge, because because my boyfriend was in it for quite a while. He was he replaced Danny Burstein for a while as Ziedler in Moulin Rouge on Broadway. So that show was absolutely awesome. And I can't wait for shows to come back, though. It's like, I mean, we know that this is a traumatic time for everybody. But I know as actors and as like theater actors too, you know, we're so lucky that we're coming back again. Like, we don't know what's going to happen, but the theater community is terrified because
of course
we want to perform for audiences, and like it's scary. So it's there's a whole other branch of the entertainment the acting community that's like having a very different experience, and it's scary. So
do you think that though, because I know there's a site actually, and I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but it was when I was looking at all my, you know, me and all the stuff I've been doing during quarantine, but like it was a site where you could watch Broadway shows that had been filmed.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are a couple resources you can use, and I'm sure some of these people can post them also if you have any more. I don't know if the Lincoln Center Archives, if they're making anything available, but that's possible. The National Theater is releasing some of their shows on YouTube. Actually, I just watched Frankenstein the other day.
The play, the actual,
amazing.
like,
yeah, the play, like
okay.
It was at National Theater, Benedict Cumberbatch
and you can watch it on YouTube.
Johnny Lee Miller.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, they did. Yeah, you can watch it on YouTube, and they did a really cool Johnny Lee Miller, right?
That's
Someone
yeah,
tell me.
that's an actor's name.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
actor
yeah.
you're
Johnny
talking
Lee Miller
about.
from the American from Elementary. They
Yes.
they actually alternated roles, which is
Mm-hmm.
something that we've started to do with like really amazing actors. They'll do like big, heavy two-hander shows,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll memorize like the two leads, and then they'll flip the roles.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a recording of Benedict Cumberbatch playing Dr. Frankenstein and Johnny Lee Miller playing the creature. And then there's another recording where Benedict Cumberbatch plays the creature and Johnny Lee Miller plays Dr. Frankenstein. And we watch both, basically.
That's amazing.
It's
I
like
have
if we
to
did
do
like
this.
the same episode of the show and we just switched. Like
But
you
to
played
see
Vic,
the
I played
actors,
Maya.
but that would be so cool just to see the interpretation of the character and
Yeah.
how it would be played.
It's so
Another,
cool. It's
like-
so cool. It's such a great exercise. Like as actors, it's a fun thing to watch. So high
like
recommend.
even what like a cool episode where we really do like it's a dream sequence and we're all playing different characters. Like we're playing our like that would be hilarious in my opinion. Anyways, you just got my mind thinking of crazy ideas.
Yeah.
That's very cool. So as for Broadway though, I wonder if they'll segue at least, you know, in at least the foreseeable future that they'll
Well,
do
it's
more
gonna.
like-
I think it's gonna be there's gonna be. I don't know. Who knows what's gonna happen? But I hope that there's gonna be a cool someone more creative and more thoughtful than me is gonna have some great ideas about fusing like internet and theater and somehow. But it's hard because theater is so it's live. You know, you need the audience. So we'll see. But I'm optimistic.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be optimistic.
I am too. I'm optimistic too. You know, I think it's just a matter of time. It's just, I think, you know, we need to figure out a lot of things. So I think it's just for now, what's the situation going to be, or I think if it were to be taped Broadway shows, it would be not forever. But anyways,
Right.
there was a question I forgot. This isn't our finale, guys. Just so you guys know, we have another episode. They keep getting confused because like we didn't, you know, like our finale wasn't when Grey's had their finale. And then tonight, How to Get Away with Murder had their finale. So our show has one more episode. We have another episode. Tonight was not our finale. But it's funny because both episodes, in my opinion, like they kind of play like, for sure, the one with Pruitt played like a finale episode.
Yeah. Oh, still traumatic.
I know. Someone asked that earlier. They said, was that a hard one to deal with? Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing I think that helps a little bit, we definitely knew as a cast about Miguel for a long time before it happened. Like we knew it was coming. So it felt like we had time to kind of, I don't know, mourn while he was still around. And then Alberto's we kind of knew a little bit too, but that one was a shock. I mean, when we found out about it, it was a shock.
Yeah.
And then we had what felt like some time to process it.
But
And
we
I
didn't,
guess-
of course, we don't know how it's going to happen.
That's
so,
the thing.
Like when you see that, it's just like, oh,
Yeah.
I remember when we read it, it was tears all around.
Oh, yeah. That's, I just
Speaking of table reads, I tweeted the last tweet I just did.
Yeah.
I guess before I started talking to you I was reminded of in this episode because when I was rewatching it for the West Coast, I actually saw the scene because my head wasn't buried in my phone where Jake,
yes,
a gun
with the gun.
with a gun. And I remembered how when we did that table read, he came and sat through the entire table read for one line. And when he said it, we all broke for like 30 full seconds. Like, could not stop laughing.
It was funny because I kind of noticed that with a couple lines in the episode, like they're thrown away like that. But Jake's delivery of "with a gun,"
With a gun?
The best moment, Shauna, I just wrote the best moment. It was that table read was amazing when he with a gun. Such a fun, Shauna Land saying such a fun table read. That was
It just cracked me up. And
that was a good one. I noticed that too. There was a piece, it wasn't during the table read, but during Gray's delivery of that line, Like you didn't tell her about you didn't tell her about Jackson or something like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
He says it so like nonchalantly or something that even made me laugh, kind of like Jake's line. Like, hey, you didn't tell her. Like, I was like, what is going on? I feel like, is this like
We rehearsed, Gray Oak and I rehearsed that whole scene in like old-timey voices at one
of course
point.
you did.
And I'm really mad they didn't get any footage of that. There was a lot of blooper footage from that episode.
Well, I feel like that's one of the things towards the end of the season, you all start getting loopy. Like half the time I forget.
My heart.
Ugh, so many good things. What else did you remember? Any other funny things you did towards the end of the season?
Well, I mean, it was on our beautiful blooper reel, but when I have that scene with Boris, which was my first one-on-one scene with Boris I've ever had. When I leave and he tells me his parents were killed in a plane crash, and I said I didn't know that. I'm sorry, Chief. And he turns to go inside, and I just launched myself onto him and grabbed around his neck and said, "I'm sorry, Chief. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry."
I really wish we could release that stuff because it's so funny.
It was really fun, and he's like a tree. You just sort of hang on him, and it was great. So that was a funny thing that happened in that episode.
That was really funny. I
Yeah.
do remember that. I was there that day when you filmed that scene. And I remember.
Don't go.
Don't go, please. Did he know you were going to do it or no? I had no idea.
I don't know. I never know. I feel like he knew because it was coming up on our lap. Like I had sort of like made that joke, and he kind of like gave me the nod. And it felt like it was time when you.
I really teach me your ways, Barrett. I suck at improvising like that kind of stuff, and you know me. Like
No,
I'm
it's
so
not
like.
Well, I'm I'm kind of loopy, and I just do stupid shit.
I know the only time my stuff is loopy is when I forget my line. Which, looking back at the blooper, I didn't forget my line,
hilarious.
and I just say the line over and over.
I think about that moment a lot, actually. I really do. I think about that.
I seem so psychotic.
What? What? Ooh. I didn't. It's like
it's so sad. No one knows what we're talking about.
no, but I can hear it's like the circus is happening inside your brain.
Yeah, just so everyone knows, just to give some backstory, we're talking about the bloopers that happen on set. Most of the bloopers we have were done intentionally by actors planning things or like kind of acting or being really good in the moment and acting into things. And I am not good at it. I tried once with Lachlan and I failed miserably. Like miserably.
Yes.
Like
a kiss, maybe.
a kiss.
An
We were supposed to do
ill-timed
a
kiss.
fake thing where instead of like yelling at each other in a scene, we were gonna kiss each other, and we planned it. And I was like, yeah, we're gonna do this. It's gonna be great. And then we went to go do it, and I just went. And
I actually think Boris might be the king of the blooper reel because he knows when to pull the trigger on a blooper. He's so like no one ever expects him to be the one who's goofing
You're right.
off. And so when it's happening, it's like no one's even catching on, and the camera's still rolling.
He
So
must hate doing scenes with me for that reason, because every time he tries to do, I'm like, it's not funny.
you're just going, what? Why are you looking at me like that?
I can never get into. I'm too into the scene every single time. I can't. Anyways,
I know that you've done 1,000 questions.
yeah,
I feel like I want to ask you a question,
please.
but I have to think of how to phrase it.
While you're thinking about it, I'm going to respond to people saying something about the bloopers. Because
Please.
Shondaland's on right now. Let's make this happen. Because people are like, we want to see the bloopers. We don't want to see the bloopers. So Shondaland, yeah, please. We have no control over it. We don't even have the actual footage.
No.
But yes, it'd be amazing if the bloopers could be made public. We have them from all 3 seasons, and they are quite epic and embarrassing for me. But okay, I'm back, Barrett.
Okay. Um, what? This didn't need a lot of thought. My question was, what was Maya thinking?
When? Like throughout the entire episode?
When? 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 What do you mean when?
Oh, like what was she thinking? Like why did she do this?
Yes.
Oh, I was like, when? Like which part? Do you mean this section or this section?
No, I want to know what was going on. What do you think was going on with Maya?
I mean, as we all know, as actors, like I don't know the true reason that'll be explained in the scripts and when the show, as the episodes go on. But I think it was oh my God, Barrett, help me with vocabulary. My brain's fried. It was self-sabotaging. I mean, I think she absolutely knows that she loves Karina, and I think love scares her. I don't think she actually understands love and what being loved and loving even means. I think I don't even know if she fully understands it. I think when you say what she's thinking, I don't even know if she's thinking. It's just she is trying to run away because Karina wants to talk about stuff that's deep that Maya does not want to delve into, and she is trying everything to avoid that. And Karina is pushing and pushing and pushing, rightfully so. In a relationship, I think you're trying to understand your partner better. And Maya just took it to an extreme. And of course, in television, this would probably take place over months in a relationship. But in an episode, it took place in one episode where it's, Karina's trying to be there for her and get some information, but Maya ends up just pushing her away. And then, I mean, I think the Jack thing, it's just, it was a moment where that anger built up and built up and built up. And the anger was her projecting. And then by the time the Jack thing happened, it was just wrong place, wrong time. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, because imagine if he hadn't walked into the office, it never would have happened. Imagine if he hadn't shut the door and stayed. Like, it wasn't like she intentionally was like, I want to go sleep with Jack. I don't think she has feelings. I think she realized when she broke up with Jack, she's not sure if she ever had feelings for Jack. Mm-hmm. So I think that, these are all my own personal opinions. I think it was her way to have some sort of something that felt good, because thinking about the past and her upbringing and questioning everything her dad did, questioning her mom, it's miserable. I mean, if any of us have ever been through that, I personally have, like, having to rethink these things and go to therapy is hard. Like, rehashing stuff is not fun. And so, yeah.
It's not fun to like poke like the sense, like the soft parts, like the sore spots. It's just, and that's all that most people need to do, to like.
It's a lot of work. I mean, working on yourself.
Yeah, it takes a lot of energy. It's exhausting. It's like, it's exhausting. Like, I'm the biggest proponent of therapy there is. Like,
me too.
Every week, not a joke, but like, it's so hard and it feels so good, like, it's really, really important for me. Which is what's also great about having all this time on my hands.
So much therapy and self-help.
I think that, like, facing your fears and having to confront them, which it seems like some of these characters are on like the fast track to like really having to look at themselves in the mirror and deal with their choices and the consequences of their choices and how difficult they are. And I mean, one could obviously make the argument that any one of these characters could be in therapy for years and like still have work to do, but it's so fun to craft these sort of like these like the characters that make decisions that aren't obvious, that don't, that disappoint us sometimes,
Because that's human. I mean, we make decisions in our life that disappoint us. I mean, we've all been there, regardless of to what extent it was, where we've done something and after you're like, why did I just do that? whatever it was. It doesn't have to be anything to even do with relationships or sex. It could just literally be like you just did something and you're like, why did I do that? I think that's what makes it so human on our show. So yeah, I think I answered, but I don't. Yeah, it's interesting. I love talking about this stuff. I could, you know me, I could talk about this stuff for like days. I don't think she was thinking though. I think sadly she just wanted to feel good, and she's in denial, and she needs some serious therapy. That last scene was the hardest though, because that's a choice. Like,
Oof, yes.
That last scene when I tell her I just slept with, like, basically it's like that scene that you see in movies all the time where like the man goes away and he's like, I'm gonna hurt her, I'm gonna break her heart, so I need to like break it off now, and he does like the worst possible thing, and then at the end they fall back. It felt like it was that
mic
moment
drop,
like,
if I ever heard one. I was like,
it was,
damn.
yeah.
Holy
Yeah, that was so anyways, that was my very long answer to your question.
No, I love it.
Everyone's like, therapy yes, therapy yes, therapy yes, therapy yes.
Good, yeah.
Yeah, we all need some therapy. It's interesting too. I think it ties into when people say like, are your characters anything like you, or how similar are you to your characters? It's obviously we're our characters. We're vastly different from our characters. But at the same time, of course, we're having to draw from our own experiences when we portray these characters. So I feel like it's undeniable to say, okay, well, of course, a part of me is in that character, but I am not that character. Anyways.
Yeah, if you like, you make a choice that you don't necessarily agree in, you kind of have to go fishing around for, why would I do that?
Yeah.
You know? And like, why would a person why would I make that decision? Yeah. And now why would a person who comes from where Maya comes from make that decision? And like, you know, you sort of piece together the puzzle from there. And if you give it a lot of thought and then you like work on it, you can figure out like why that could make sense, even if you're like, oh, just wait. And then sometimes characters just become bad, you know, like we don't know. It's just so not bad, like bad characters, like, you know, just frustrating sort of villainous figures. And I'm not like, it could happen to any of us.
Yeah, at any time.
I mean, and it's just so interesting.
It's what you set on as an actor too. I'm like, of course, it's always great to be like this, you know, happy character, loving character, whatever. But like, you know, it's fun to play these variations, and you don't know what character you're going to get next. And I think that's what we sign on for, is your ability to want to have range and play. Like,
give me a challenge. I love it. It's hard sometimes, but please.
It is. This next, there was a question that came up here that I forgot, and I was like seeing it. I was like, ooh, that's a good one, and then it went away. No, it's gone. I forgot. It'll come back to me another time. But yeah, I'm trying to think of like, should I see about any other questions? Barrett?
Maybe. I don't know. Do you have something else you want to talk about?
Besides acting and our characters? I mean, let's see. People talk about the bloopers.
Yeah, there's going to be a season 4. We just don't know when.
I know. Oh, guess what? I saw Jason today.
What? Did you see him?
He rode his bike by my house, you know, because he's basically like neighbors. And he rode the bike by the house, and then he called me, so we talked basically from the gate in the sidewalk.
Cuties.
Yeah, I know. I was like so happy to see him. At first I was worried for him because he called me though when this is just a fun one. What's your zodiac sign? I mean, I know what it is. You tell them.
Good one. I am a Pisces Aries cusp. I'm the last day of Pisces. My birthday.
You're a cusp?
Yeah, my birthday is March 20th. I am the last day of Pisces.
I guess I didn't know that.
And when I was younger, I mean, I had seen there were places where there was like, I mean, I think cusps are supposed to be, you know,
like a couple days, like 3 days.
Yeah, you give yourself like a little range.
Yeah.
And I think that's right for me.
I'm a cusp too.
Go on.
I'm Virgo Leo cusp. I'm just didn't know that we were both cusps. This is why we're so like this.
But didn't we look that up once? Like, aren't Virgos and Pisces like
Did
great?
Had we had
I
a
think
couple
we're
whiskeys
supposed
when
to
we
be
did this.
a good combo, but
I knew Pisces and Virgo were for sure.
yeah.
Was the butt smack improvised? I had that question too, actually.
Yeah.
It was. That was so good. When he's like, I hate when you do that. I was like that. Oh,
The scene I think was supposed to be over when Boris says like, great. Like it just keeps going. All of that, him being, oh no. We did have the line. We did have why do we make friends with people we work with?
that one, yeah. I remember that being scripted.
And like all that, and then that whole bit up the stairs was that was just me and Jay.
I love that so much.
So dumb. Fun.
I'm trying to find. We'll go. It usually cuts us off in 9 minutes. So if there's anything, like Instagram ends it after an hour, and then 9 minutes will basically be an hour. So anything else you want to bring up, we'll like start closing it out. I'm
Okay.
just happy I get to see your face. People are loving this, by the way. At least that's what they're saying. People are loving.
I hope so.
We never know. I mean, you just sit here and turn on a camera and talk, and people watch you talk, and you don't know if people like what you're saying. It's so strange what we do.
I hope so.
How is it different for you as an actor when you know the end game of a storyline beforehand compared to not knowing at all? That's a really great question. It's a part of the challenge. If I'm going to jump in and say anything, I think it's part of the challenge, not knowing it, but having to, when you're doing the scene, not play the ending. I mean, that's always in every acting class, I feel like, or book. It's like you never play the ending.
Totally.
So you basically have to step out of even that scene. So you read the script, you know where your character's going, which helps you kind of form how you play scenes because you know the end. Like, if you're going to not end up in a psych ward, you can't lose it to the point where you go crazy. Like that's an extreme. Like you can't, it gives you some parameters when you know the ending, but then when you're doing a scene, you have to basically wipe that away and not play or know, the character can't know where you're going.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. I like that question.
I agree. I mean, I think that like if you know what's gonna happen, like you cannot play it. I think when you don't know where something's gonna go, what's interesting is that it tends to, especially in television, like it's really the only place where I think that happens other than real life. Like if you don't know what's going to happen in the story, you have to just play the scene, and then other people decide, the writers and our showrunners decide like where the relationships or where like this person's character development is going to go. We don't know, like, I mean, I'm assuming this is mostly talking about like relationships.
I think in general, that's what
in general. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I don't have a problem playing something where I know the ending. I can,
it's
like,
interesting how we,
but in TV,
you feel sad about it?
Yeah, like, I mean, it depends. Like the experience that I had knowing what was going to happen, like to Ripley, was I didn't know if that was going to change. I didn't know, in
You're all
TV,
hoping.
literally anything could happen. So you kind of don't know, but you go for it. And like, if I look at anything that's happened this season, I still have no idea where things are going to go. I know
a lot of people have been asking about Vic and Dean, and that's like a completely up in the air, like seeds planted, but like what? Like we have no idea.
I still don't.
It's interesting how we both interpreted that question. Like you interpreted it as not knowing the ending for a season as the episodes go on, and I interpreted it as script by script knowing the end of every episode.
Oh yeah, interesting.
It's just interesting how we both, as I was listening to it, I was like, oh, there's just a different way to take it. I love all these questions. We are going to get kicked off in 5 minutes though, so we should probably go. I love you, obviously.
Love you.
Know this. Please wave. Someone said please wave, so I'll wave.
Hi.
I sometimes feel like a puppet. Like someone's like, do this. I'm like, okay. but I'm okay being that. I'm so happy we got to do this live. You were absolutely amazing tonight on the episode. Your singing was perfect. Never knew you had a raspy voice that second day, and the stuff with you and Jay was hilarious. So congrats on an amazing episode. Oh, quickly, Rebecca is on here as well, who played the drug addict that was holding up the PRT. Yes! Rebecca, you did amazing. You were so good, Rebecca. So good.
I still don't think I have laughed. I mean, I hate to say this, but
when she got hit.
Yeah,
it just felt like so many people on Twitter were like, karma happened like
the
that.
most, like, that was one of the funniest, like, the most, like, purely sort of comic things that has ever happened on our show. It
was their look, too. Yeah.
And how Lachlan just kept doing CPR. It was so great. I laughed out loud. I was like, really, my heart grew 3 sizes that day. It was so great.
Yeah, it was Jermaine Davis who directed our episode. Is amazing. Genius. And she killed it, as did all the actors in the show. It was a great episode. But anyways, thank you. I love you. It is going to kick us off, so I better shut off before it kicks us off and then we lose the video. I love you. I'm going to talk to you soon, obviously.
Yeah, I'm sure. Okay.
Okay. Wow.
Well, maybe tomorrow.
Oh my God, what a great idea.
Okay. Good night. Good night. That wasn't a real song. Sorry, guys. But
I liked
hopefully
it,
I'll
though.
record one before the end of quarantine.
Yes, please. I would love that, as would everyone here. Please, please, please. Mwah. I love you.
Bye.
Yeah, don't make that face. That was beautiful. I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Oh, and she left. Okay, Instagram's gonna. That's what friends do. Thank you guys all for tuning in to 3 Instagrams on Station 19, and for watching all the stories, and for partaking in all the posts and the captions and the comments and everything. You guys are amazing. Thank you for supporting and loving our show so much. I am exhausted. I'm sure all of you guys are too. Thank you for staying up to watch all these. Good night, and we love you. Next week's the finale. Bye, guys.